Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit the subscribe button down below and let's get right to it. Now, the Trump administration has decided it wants to go after transgender people again. First, of course, they rolled back the Obama-era ability for transgender people to serve in the military. Even though we had somewhere between 4,000 and 15,000 transgender people working active duty currently, some even deployed in Afghanistan. Now he wants to go after the people in college, in school. You already knew Betsy DeVos, had rolled back protections given to school kids back when she first took over as education secretary, making it harder for transgender children to make it through school and do what they have to do and get around and do what they have to and be able to use the restrooms and things like that. She made it more difficult. We already know that. But now they want to roll it back at the Health and Human Services Department as well. This is not coming from some left-wing rag. This isn't coming from MSNBC or CNN either. No, this is being reported by right-wing rag FoxNews.com. And that is that they are considering rolling back things like Title IX protections of discrimination against discrimination, saying that it doesn't pertain to transgender people anymore. And they want to roll back all the Obama-era transgender rules that are put in place for education and health and human services. So let's dig into this a little deeper, shall we? The headline of the article from FoxNews.com is Trump administration mulls rollback of Obama-era transgender protections. And some are probably thinking, oh, well, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad except for the fact that he lied. When he was elected, he told the LGBT community that he was their biggest ally. It turns out he is a fraud. That he lied when he said that. Now, I told everybody who would listen that he was lying. Because his own words over the years have proven that he has no support for gay or transgender Americans. Things he had said during the campaign, things he had said on Twitter over the last 10 years, showed that he was not an ally to the LGBT community. But I was hoping I was wrong. I was hoping beyond hope that I was wrong. And then they file a brief with the courts saying that, first, that the Civil Rights Act does not protect transgender people anymore or gay people in general. Now, that wasn't a law change, but they were arguing where they stand and what they would fight against. So, and then there was the transgender, rebanning transgender people from the military. Right here it says, according to some leaked documents, the Department of Health and Human Services is looking into establishing the legal definition of sex under Title IX as biological, immutable condition determined by genitalia at birth. That was a memo that was obtained by the New York Times. And just to be clear, Title IX is the federal law that bans gender discrimination education programs that receive government financial assistance. Now everybody has their different views on transgender people and whether or not we should take them seriously. Of course, my argument is that we should, because these people, they know themselves better than we know them. Now, I do believe that they are being treated wrongly here. I believe that. The whole idea that you would tell a transgender person that they're not legally allowed the same rights as you or I is a load of bullshit. I want people to know one thing. Change is coming. You've got young people coming up that are going to change these rules. They're going to change these laws. You've got people in the next 15 to 20 years that will change all of this. So keep fighting. But back to this law. Why did the Trump administration see fit to constantly attack the LGBT community? Day in, day out, it's attack, attack, attack. It's not right. And this is one reason this November, and this afternoon, in fact, I will be voting against every Republican on the ticket. It may be the first time in my entire life that I clicked that straight ticket voting option. I have never voted straight ticket in my entire life. But it looks like I'm about to. The Republican Party has lost me, and they will never see me again. There was a day in time where I was a Republican. I voted Republican. I voted for George W. Bush for governor here in Texas back in, what was it, 98? But they have lost me with programs like this, attacking LGBT Americans. They can all go straight to hell. If you support the LGBT community in this country, you need to get to the polls on November 6th. You need to let your voice be heard. You need to tell the Republican Party that they can go to hell. You can tell the Republican Party to shove it straight up their ass. You have that ability. If you support the LGBT community, get out and vote. Vote in numbers. Drag people that you know to the polls. Make it clear on your social media that you can post all you want, but if you don't show up to the polls, nothing changes. But if you want to stop things like this, you have to vote. You have to show up. And millions of Americans are counting on you to show up. And this goes out to all people in this country that support the rights of their fellow Americans. I'm not asking for a lot here. I'm not sitting here asking for anyone to do anything crazy. I'm just asking for people to show up and vote. I am so sick and tired of these attacks on these people. I've known many people from the LGBT community, and they are great people. They do not deserve to be treated any less because of who they love or how they feel on the inside. If a person believes they're transgender, they're transgender. If a person is born with male genitalia and they don't believe that genitalia matches who they are, who are we to discriminate against them? Who are we to do that? This has happened in history. Over and over again with different groups of people where they're marginalized and treated as if they're subhuman. That the rules don't apply to them. That the rights endowed by the founders of this country and our creator don't apply to them. I want to make it clear. I support the LGBT community. I always have. I always will. And if that offends anybody, that's fine. I don't give two shits. But I do know that change is going to come. That's all I got to say. change is going to come. But to the Trump administration, please reconsider. Please reconsider. Because this is absolutely horrendous. To sit there and tell transgender people that they're not protected by anything. Saying that they can be discriminated against on college campuses across this country. I don't believe anybody should be able to be discriminated against. Everyone has a right to be themselves. As long as they ain't harming anybody else, I don't care. Anyhow, this has been The Big Rant Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck, and I'll see you down the road.